إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له جزاكم الله خير وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الحمد لله بارك الله فيكم وفي أهلكم وفي إخواتكم أعمالكم جزاكم الله خير. Today, alhamdulillah, we're in our class on Arabic, our Arabic class. We've been dealing with master letters, mastering the letters before we go further into the other issues. The thing is sliding, is it? Okay, cool. I'm sorry. So, today we are on Sa'fas. We went through Abjad. We said Abjad, right? What's the next one? Abjad, Hawaz, Huttiya, or Huttiya, Hati. Kaliman, naam, Sa'fas. Now we're on Sa'fas. Okay? Qurishat, Fakhid, Dadiq. I'm sorry. Dadiq. Now we want to do this. We haven't done Qurishat, Fakhid, Dadiq. We have just 3 more after today, and then we can move off of the alphabet, and that's a great accomplishment. Today we're going to deal with Sa'fas, okay? And believe me, we've been doing one a day, and we've one a lesson. And the wisdom to that is that, you know, about a year or 2 ago, maybe this was unknown to a lot of people, not knowing the Abjadiyya, and it was only known and familiar to the students and the teachers who knew this thing, but we didn't use it because most people don't understand it. Now, alhamdulillahi rabbil, he can walk across, ma fish mushkila. You know, walk across, okay, never mind. Now we can use this with everybody, and they can start seeing it in the books that they read. They'll see the Abjadiyya. A lot of times you'll see this when the people make their outlines. The shuyukh make their outlines and everything. So now we're on Sa'fas. And remember, what we're doing, what our attempt here to do, inshallah ta'ala, is not only to familiarize with the Abjadiyya, but to familiarize you with exactly how to pronounce these sounds that come with the whole alphabet, and give you some things that you can use all the time with these letters. So we started off by saying with Bismillah or with Basmillah, alhamdulillah, then blessings on the Prophet. I'll have my say with you today concerning orthographics. Descriptions of, so we have the Sifat, okay? Their numerals, the numeric value, points of articulation, which is the makhraj, right? As each one comes and as it does, it has its own sensation. And it's not only the makhraj, but it's a tajweed rule too. So we're going to learn at least 4 things. But the 5th one that we're going to learn are some words. We're going to learn words in English that have the same makhraj as the words, the letters in Arabic. And the importance to that is we won't have too much takalluf. Some people, when they recite Quran, they put too much to it. Now, I'm not talking about people who learn or come from overseas. I'm talking about people, Americans, who learn it. They be Bismillah. They make their sounds different than they have to be because they think it's some other sound, when in actuality, it's the same sounds for the most part. And so we want to draw on those things that are those similarities and point them out so to become more easy for the English or the American or the English-speaking person. Let's go on. It goes on King Sa'fas. Now, Sa'fas is made from Sin, Ayn, Fa, and Sad. So we started down, and the poem goes like this. Sliding down the slopes, the sound supreme is seen, slipping to the sides, escaping from the scene. The sound of Sinun slips through the teeth to hiss. The central upper plates, tip tongue must closely miss. Sin has rikhlun samtun, sin is stafalat, hamsun safirun in the snow and fetahat. Sinun has ikhfa, obscene, the scene is not. At 60 degrees Celsius, this scene is super hot. Go back up to the top, and we'll go through this piece by piece. So, as we went through this, try to understand where we're going. Go center it on put it in the middle, please. Okay, keep going up. Thank you. I want the top of the poem. That's all I need. Right there. Thank you. It goes on, it says, sliding down the slopes, the sound supreme is seen. Okay, put it here so they can see this. Here in the poem, we're seeing that sliding down the slopes. If you say these sounds, sliding down the slopes, the sound supreme is seen, slipping to the sides, escaping from the scene. What you're doing is you're practicing saying the seen sound. It's say seen, sliding down the slopes. All those practices teach you how to say the same sound you already know, and that's seen. The sound, then he tells you the sound of sinun slips. The sound of sinun slips through the teeth to hiss. What he's telling you here is how exactly to get to the place of articulation of the makhraj of sin. The central upper plates, the tip tongue must closely miss. Watch this now. Sin has been described by different scholars of language as slipping through the teeth, the sound. Why? Because when you say sin, your teeth are closed. Say is. So see, it says the sound hisses through your teeth. Say hiss. That's going straight to the makhraj, where it slips. So down it says the central upper plates. These are your central upper plates. Your buck teeth, your two front teeth, and your bottom. But these are the central upper. So your tongue is going to be up a little bit more. It's going to, the tip of your tongue is going to closely miss. Say the word miss. Miss. So you see that your tongue, note, your tongue does not touch the teeth. Say miss. Miss. So it says your tip tongue closely, it comes very close to the top teeth, but it does not touch them. Okay? So the sound of sinun slips through the teeth to hiss. So it has to be a hissing sound. As it goes through right here, your teeth are going to be like this. The central upper plates, tip tongue, must closely miss. And so this is just what he's doing. It's describing exactly how to say seen. Next, going down, it says sinun has rikhwun, samtun, sin istafalat. Sin has istifal. Istafalat is from istifal. It's flat. Rikhwun is that weak. Bring it back so I can show them. Rikhwun is that spilling sound. When we talk about rikhwun, it means weakness, right? But what do we mean when we say it? We're not just going to say these sifat and just leave them. It means that it spills. It's not firm like id. Id is strong. Sin spills, so it has rikhwun. It's samtun. We control it. The whole time you're going, your jaw is controlling the expression as it seeps out. Okay, so that's what that sump, that control is. Istafalat is from the flatness. Your tongue has to start off flat and go back to being flat. Okay? Hamsun is that whispering sound. As we talk about hams, it again is similar to rikhwun. It's going to keep going even when you stop. Okay? It's that sound that it sounds like a whisper. Safirun is the whistling sound. It sounds similar to a whisper. And in fatahat, again, you have to open your mouth. Okay? You have to open your mouth to make these sounds, and it's not itbaq. Here is in fatahat is to show it's not to be itbaq, because the itbaq is going to, or the round mouth is going to come when you're dealing with a sword. Okay? So that's all it is right there. Sinun has ikhfa. When we talk about ikhfa here, Sin has a tajweed rule of ikhfa. Again, this is not tajweed class, so we're not going to deal with what ikhfa means in general or anything like that. What we're going to let you know and what you should learn from this lesson is that Sin has ikhfa. And just focus on that. And that's a tajweed rule. That obscene, this scene is not, that's just to complete the bait or the verse. At 60 degrees Celsius, this scene is super hot. Here, the description was all in a mountainous range of someone skiing. At 60 degrees is very hot. But what he's trying to show is that 60 is the numeric value of scene. So that those people would know that. And Celsius is just used so you can practice the scene sound as it comes 3 times in that word, Celsius. That's all we have with that one. That's the scene. Go on down to the next letter. The next letter is Ayn. I'm glad I'm coughing because Ayn has that cranky, coughing-like sound. Go down, inshallah. The middle of the throat is where the Aynun comes alive. See, the Ayn is a sound, just before we get there. Ayn is one of those sounds that does not come in English. Okay? There are some letters in Arabic that there are no equivalents in the English language. And so we want to point them out. Does that mean we don't know how to say it? No. Does that mean we can't find out? No. Kha is not an English word. It's not an English letter. But if you swallow some what do they call it, fish, a lot of people, if you swallow fish and you get in your mouth, that's the sound that you come with kha. Here we have Ayn. How do we know what Ayn is? We go to the poem. Check it out. It says the middle of the throat is where the Aynun comes alive. A cranky old sound just trying to survive. 70 years in a coal miner's mind couldn't make the Ayn sound more refined. The Idhar Ayn don't mix with noons. With Jahrun Ayn does loudly snooze. Wastun and Samtun describe the Aynun well. The only thing left is Fatun Istifad. Okay, now again, remember, these are, go back up please. Right there, oh, right there. These are poems or nursery rhymes written for children in their age and in their understanding. If you memorize these and replace these with hickory dickory dock and all those other nonsensical things that have no benefit for your children, they will be able to use this as firm knowledge to go forward in their life. To know that the middle of the throat is where the Aynun comes alive. That's a very important point. Hamzun faha'un thumma aynun ha'un. It's the middle of the throat, not the bottom. So the middle of the throat is the makhraj of the ayn. A cranky old sound just trying to survive. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like some cranky old man, making that sound. Because it's One of the mistakes that people make, they say It's not it's You have to say Okay, so 70 years in a coal miner's mind. You know, people that work in the coal mines, they usually get lung cancer. You know, they get that black soot. So this is an example. 70 here is used for what? To tell you the numeric value of Ayn. Okay? What time is it then? Okay. So 70 years in the coal mine couldn't make the Ayn sound more refined. You couldn't make the Ayn even scratchier if you stayed in the coal miner's mind for 70 years. Okay? Or 70 here, it just means the numeric value of that letter. The Idhar Ayn don't mix with noons. Here he's giving you a hint. Idhar is the tajweed rule for Ayn. And he's saying by don't mix with noons, it means that it's independent. When we talk about Idhar, Idhar is a sound that's independent of noon. It's distinct. Okay, so it's kind of teasing you, letting you know what idhar means. And idhar here is the tajweed rule. With jahrun ayn does loudly snooze. Jahrun is a loud sound. And since the ayn sounds like so then it sounds like it's snoozing. You know, wastun and samtun describe the aynun well. Wastun is wasatiyah. How do you give ayn? Ayn is not severe. You can't come with shiddah. It'll scratch your throat. At the same time, you can't do it too light. It can't be khafifan, light. What you have to do is between bayna dhalik, and that's called wastun. You have to have some moderation. So you say and you don't apply and then you'll be coughing, and you don't do it too light. You do it nice and balanced between those two, and that's called wastun. Samtun is control. You have to control that sound of the ayn, or it's just going to bleed down. So you have to have that control of the sound. How far you want it, how long you want it when you do it. So that describes the ayn. The only thing left is fatun istifal. Fatun is to open your mouth like a doorway. Not all. And istifal is your tongue to be flat. You can't make the ayn unless your tongue is flat. Okay? So that's what we have for ayn. Let's move on to the next letter. Sa. So we have sa. Now we need to go on to fa. Fa. Fa for ikhfa for family. The formulas for free. Force 80 for yourself and then turn around and see. 4 or 5 front teeth will fall upon your inner lip. For life force, then gently form the fa before life forces them to flip. Okay, here we have fa for it. Go up a little bit further. Just a little bit further. Right there. Fa for ikhfa for family, the formulas for free. Force 80 for yourself and then turn and flip around and see. 4 or 5 front teeth will fall upon your inner lip, then gently form the fa before life forces them to flip. For fa we have a fatun following a hams, rikhmun istifalun, and dalakun pronounced. That's it. That's all it is right there. Now we go back. It starts off by saying fa for ikhfa for family, the formula is for free. Here, if you understand this, this is again a tongue twister put into place so that people could understand how to pronounce the sound fa. It's not a sound that is unknown to the English language. Very easy. But most Americans don't think it's the same fa. Okay? So we put it like this. Fa for ikhfa for family, for formulas for free. The formula's for free. Fa, 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 fa. Force 80 for yourself. 80 is the numeric value of fa. Then turn around and see. What do you see? You'll see 4 or 5 front teeth. Count them. 4 or 5 front teeth. Even if you say that, 4 or 5 front teeth will fall upon your inner lip. That's how you say fa. Say F. Now, if you count the teeth and you do it in a mirror, you'll see it's 4 or 5 front teeth that fall upon your inner lip. And what do? Gently. They gently form the fa before life forces them to split, really. Okay? To separate. So say F. F. And when you flip, when you open them up, split them, then the fa is gone. Okay? So for fa, so it says gently. So we're going to know what we have here. We know we're going to have rikhmun because it's gently. It's weakly done. For fa, we have a fethun following a hams. Hams is that whispering sound. Say F. Don't it sound like somebody's whispering? Then it says rikhmun. Again, it's spilling out. Istifalun, the tongue is flat. And dhalakun. Dhalakun means it's coming from the lips. Pronounced. Fa is easy. Okay? So, again, this is an easy letter for us to learn, and it's described. We have it. No one can doubt that there's 4 or 5 front teeth that fall upon your inner lip to say fa. And it's dalakun because it comes from the edge of the tongue and the lips. Okay? Actually, the fa doesn't have the edge of the tongue, but I'm saying dalakun letters come from the edge of the tongue and the lips. Okay? And or the lips. Go to the next letter. So we have fa. The last letter is sod. Sa, fals. Okay? The last letter is sod. Sod is one of the letters that some people don't think that we have in English. But sod is in English. It's one of those that, like we say H. Okay? H is a letter in the English language. There are 2 H's in the English language. However, they only write one. We say heavy and we say hot. We say jalapeno even when it's a J, but it's an H sound. Okay? And we say ho, ho, ho. You know, the kuffar say that. Okay? So, S is like that. We have seen and we have sod. So like we have Sally and we have some. So we say some. We have saw. Saw is an ala. It's a utensil that they use. We call it a saw. This is what it's pronounced as a sod. Different than when we say Sally, which is pronounced as a seen. So both these sounds we have in the English language, even though they're only represented by one letter, and that's S. So it tricks some people who don't know to think that we don't have this letter. We do have this letter. Actually, not the letter. We do have this sound. And that is the thing that we're focusing on here. Sounds. Okay? And tying the sounds to what we can see. These are called graphemes or alphabet. So let's go along. It goes on, and first thing it does, it describes this letter. It says the tongue is up and near the front. Safirun whistles through, and then with hams itbaq samt isti'la rikhwu. Sadun has ikhfa, Sad has ikhfa 90, said someone suddenly. Words like sama, saw, and sad, some sound like sad to me. Let's go back up. It's a tongue twister for me too. He says again, right there. The tongue is up and near the front. Let's go here. Safirun whistles through. See, when your tongue is up to the front, it's up. And near the front, say us, us. Put it here. Us. Ya akhi. Sorry. Say us. Us. You see your tongue rises up and it goes towards the front. Okay? It's when I said near the front, I didn't say all the way to the front. It's near the front. So if your teeth are here, it's up and near the front. It's not all the way to the front. You have to pay attention to these subtle details. Say us. Us. And so the tongue, it kind of folds like this. Us. As it goes up towards the top, and it opens a little avenue of air so the air gets squeezed, and from that exits the air, the sound that emits the sound. As, sad. And what happens when you have enough water in your system, the water bubbles on your tongue and it squeezes out that sound. As. And that's what you feel sometime on your tongue. When you say sad. Sad. Some people want to say swad. It's not swad. They do that because of the formulation of the tongue. They're like that. But it's saw. Saw. There you go. So it says, the tongue is up and near the front, safirun whistles through. Because that sound, sawtu safir, it's a whistling sound, right? And then with hams, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Hams is again that whispering, us. You see that's a whispering sound. Hams, itbaq. Itbaq is very important here. You have to make your mouth round. Different from the seen. Seen has infatahat. It's open like a doorway. Itbaq is round. Round mouth. You have to be a round mouth like this. Say us. And it squeezes that mouth closed, but it's not closed, it's rounded. Okay? And sumped. Again, there has to be some control over this sound. Okay? It's all tight. Like you got to keep it tight together. Isti'la, the sound rises. Us. Okay? So it says isti'la, and rikhun, again, it's that spilling. It's the spilling. Even though it has some, it's still spilling out all over the place. Okay? All over your mouth. Okay? Sad has ikhfa 90. So it says ikhfa is the tajweed rule for sad. So we don't want to talk about ikhfa too much because ikhfa is a tajweed rule and we're doing the language here, right? We're doing the alphabet. So we're not really going to worry about that, but what we want to know, نُلَاحِظُ أَنَّ إِخْفَى تَجْوِيد لِلصَّاد, right? That's what we take. And 90 is the numeric value for sad, right? Now, said someone suddenly. Why did he say said someone suddenly? These are sounds that are similar to the sad sound. Not necessarily said, but someone. Say someone. Whenever you say in English, when you have a sound that has an S and an O, and you don't say oo, that's saying like the sad sound. Someone. You see how you have to make that sound? And then you said suddenly. You're not saying, if you said soon, it would be seen. But if you said suddenly, that's the sad sound. Okay, you're hinting on the sad expression. You understand that? Go up a little bit more, Mr. Masad. Then it goes on to give you some words. Now, words like summer, saw, and some sound like sad to me. All these words, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course, fifth one is here. All these letters, all these words are the sad. When you say summer, summer, okay, like I said, I gave you a principle. I said when in the English language, when you say a sound that has a U or O, and you're not saying ooh to that sound, you're pronouncing it with the sad pronunciation. Okay? So, summer, say summer. Summer. Now say it with the sad, summer. Summer. You see how the tongue goes up and near the front? Okay? Then you say saw. That's about the closest one you can find it because it's almost exactly saying saw. Because you say saw. And then you said, even if when you say I saw someone, and then you say some. It's the same word, sound. You see how you put it? Sound. You're bringing it out there. And, of course, sad. This is what we have to offer with regards to sad and sa'fas. This is how these sounds sound. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام